I'll call the meeting to order. Are there any additions or amendments to the minutes of the last regular meeting?
I believe on the minutes the vote was incorrect.
I had 4 down for A's, for the ayes and the no's.
Should have been 4-0 instead of 4-4.
Is there a motion accepting the minutes as amended?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Minutes adopted. Are there any additions or amendments to the minutes of the public hearing on local law number 1, 2013?
Make a motion to adopt the minutes of the public hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? Minutes adopted. Are there any comments from the audience?
At the monthly meeting of the Morris Town Board on January 8th, 2013, Supervisor McCann distributed a copy of the proposed local road use and preservation law number 1. It's provided by Delta Engineers to the members of the board. Supervisor McCann asked that the members review the proposed law, which the town attorney had previously done. And once the members approved it, the board would hear public comments regarding the law at the public hearing on February 12, 2013. Since the local road use and preservation law number 1 was passed immediately after the public hearing on February 12th, without discussion by the board that evening, its approval must have, 1, have been discussed by the board at another time, or 2, never been discussed at all by the board. Because of the open meeting law, citizens of New York have unique rights to participate in government and have access to information. The law states that any gathering of a quorum of the body for the purpose of conducting public business is a meeting that must be convened open to the public, whether or not there's an intent to take action, and regardless of the manner in which a gathering may be characterized. According to this law, when there is such a meeting, 1, the public must be notified, 2, minutes must be taken, and 3, any action taken must be by motion, seconded, and majority rule. Therefore, I'm requesting copies of minutes of all meetings during which the board decided to, 1, take action to accept the local road use and preservation law number 1 as written, and 2, present it at a public hearing. And I'll submit this at the end.
Jim, anybody else? Or?
Thanks. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Ladies first, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Heidi Stanton, and I wanted to also submit a FOIL request regarding the redispersal of gas well brines on the town and village, and the town and village of Morris roadways. The FOIL request in this letter. This is a formal request for information available through the Freedom of Information Law. Relative to the potential purchase, acquisition, transport, storage, sales, use, and dispersal of gas industry brines for road de-icing or dust control purposes in the town and or village of Morris, New York. We seek to ascertain whether flowback fluids and or produced water and or related solids or liquids materials used or created by the shale gas industry have been or are currently being spread on the town or village Morris roadways and or lands. And 2, what road de-icing agents are in current use today. And I'll submit this after.
We do it now?
No. Oh, FOIL request. They're both FOIL requests. They're requesting items.
Correct.
If items
we had zero.
if items don't exist,
Right.
They
But
don't
you still have to
exist.
be able to tell them so.
right.
You know, we never
That
had
will be the clerk's response to the FOIL request.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments? Jim, you have
I
anything?
can talk at length if you want. I can answer questions. We can talk about MOSA, we can talk about the gun rally in Albany, we can talk about the manor. The manor, I can tell you what you're looking at is is the property tax brings in $11 million, you're looking at subsidizing it to the tune of $5.5 million. That means every other tax dollar that property tax owners pay is going to go into the manor. And it's become, and, you know, and I voted for the manor, I voted for the color of the curtains, I voted for the color of the floor, whatever. I really like the manor, but the situation has changed in New York State, and the state is going to make it unbearable for counties to be in the nursing home business. They do not want counties in the nursing home business any longer. So therefore, we felt that the best thing to do was to be one of the first ones to sell rather than wait until, you know, the people who are in the nursing home business and do a good job have bought what they want to buy and aren't looking to buy anymore. We wanted to be one of the, you know, attract the better buyers. So that's where we're at. If I could think of a way, and then I have a lot of people come up to me and say, try to be creative. Well, you can try all day long to be creative, but money's not growing on trees. And so that's where we're at. And I'd be glad to answer any questions anybody wants to answer, because I understand that's a difficult subject. You want to take them one at a time, or?
Anybody on board with a question?
Okay, MOSA, they went up to meet with MOSA on the 28th of February, and I was supposed to go, but instead I got deferred to the gun rally in Albany, so I didn't make the meeting at MOSA. The odd thing happened when they got to MOSA is that the people who were supposed to show up did not show up. And there was a lot of excuses given, and then the people who were supposed to show up were the appraisers that did the asset appraisal of our facilities, of all the MOSA facilities. When they called them and asked them why they didn't show up, they said they were never asked to. So the MOSA officials are sort of on the hook for A, the attorney we took, B, the attorney he took, which comes to a total bill of, I think, $1,562. So they don't know what to say. The director of MOSA, we're going to ask for his resignation, I guess, and we'll see where that goes. But it's becoming pretty ugly up at MOSA right now. The gun rally, I went to the gun rally. People were very well behaved. I thought you'd see people flashing guns. There was no guns being flashed at all. There was not an ounce of glitter left, although it was a sea of mud when we got done there, because it was, as Jim Seward said, he's never seen that many people on that commons. So the county board did vote to repeal the SAFE Act, and we voted to repeal and replace with common sense. So I think were the words we used. It's not because those aren't the words; it's very close to the words. Laws. So that's where that is. And I'll be glad to try and answer any questions. After the word being tried. If not, I have just been given a little project to do by Royce, and I'm going to go home and try and do it. Okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
40-cent project.
I'll take care of it.
Let me know if you don't,
I'll let you know.
give me 40 cents, so notes can go to the doctor.
I'll find somebody's got 40 cents up there.
Any other comments? Not, we'll move on to order and bills.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it. Cost some money. Cost some money. Shit, the dog pound supposed to self-storage. Yeah, supposedly. The dog pound is supposedly self-storing, we tried to get enough money out of it to pay for the.
Yeah, the dog licensing fees, but it's like anything else. Some years you get a lot of breakdowns, and some years you don't.
When you see one from the vet where they either adopted them out or they euthanized it. Huh? Oh my gosh. We had 7 dogs when, what was going before us? I don't know, we lost a contract with somebody that was running well, they picked them up. And it was always disputed where they picked them up, right up near the golf road. Some Cooperstown. What was it? $1,400 or something around there, ridiculous thing like that. The SPCA charges picked those dogs up.
We already had the contract with Barnes.
Yeah.
That time.
But we didn't, that was, yeah, but they did or something, I don't think.
that's one reason.
It just getting started or something.
Yeah.
That about gave us all a heart attack. How about you, remember the name? Well, that's their $50 deals.
No, it's the public meeting places.
Yeah, I think $50
code
for
enforcement.
each.
Yeah. $50 for here and $50 for the municipal building.
Then the fire company gets another 50.
Bass side of the municipal building to another 50.
You have to do it on town line?
No,
No.
just public meeting areas.
Probably not paying attention. For the parade.
No, the Memorial Day parade is another, they bill us, you have to define the flags.
Okay.
This is the annual contribution.
Okay, if we do. So, Well, this has gotta be John Steel for your trucks.
No.
It's non-use, non-highway. Okay. Boy, that hit pretty good, huh? What's that, 19 Three. Town line? Oh, yeah.
It should say right on it, how many bills are there? Probably two for the highway, one here and one for the news.
You know, the other loan, that's the second one we bought this year, so they're going for the second one, so we're,
How's that run compared to last year, Jim? But you wouldn't only get 1 year.
I got records going back about 15 years, and we were under average at 4 loads. You know, as many as 7, 8 in there, but of course it's an easier winter than those two. Well, March for the minutes. Check. That's, small one's grease and the big one's more, is that right, Dave?
Okay. Yeah, it was bulk oil,
Paul Soleno?
yeah.
How do you make out for Joey's? Did they,
Yeah, I talked to Mike, and he's credited the village. And
You had it.
put it on, I didn't add it on, he told me not to.
Okay.
Because he's doing it in March, it's gonna show up on the April statement.
I wasn't sure.
I told him I'd chuck it in there, and he said it'd be easier on there, and we just wait until it's on the statement.
Yeah, yeah,
It's all right with that.
as long as it shows credit. The village side.
That was in Norwich, Billy's, in Umbrella. We had a truck over there that day. That's where the problem started.
Yep.
You got it did a little bit better this time. Yeah, you got what the heck the stuff is, instead of just a
Bunch of
bunch of
numbers.
numbers that you don't know what the heck it is. Yeah. That's gas. I believe. It's a fuel card station. It's where they got a Morris, but of course they fill the pickup up and get on the gas tank. Huh? A little bit. What, 390 something? Of course, then you gotta add all these taxes on there. That's all. What is that?
Yeah. There's 3 broken trucks.
Yeah, he's very reasonable.
Pickup and 2 Taylor are broken. You got all 3 of them on that bill.
Is there a motion authorizing the supervisor to pay the audited bills? Is there a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Everybody got a copy of the transfer station ending report? As we were discussing before, we've got a reduction in, from 2011 of 19.5 tons. Which is good and has been stable, as you can see, over the past 10 years. It's gone down. Just about every year. It's fine. And then the court clerk, they had a lot of cases, criminal cases that, old ones that there's no dispositions for. They transferred to other courts and there's been no follow up as far as sealing orders. She figures that if she could get an additional 50 hours just to dedicate to tracking down these cases and closing them out, she could clear up pretty much.
This was from the past, Judge.
Well, the past old cases, back, even prior
Okay.
to the last judge. There are cases that just have not been, verdicts found, report from the county, then reports to the state, and she feels that 50 hours she could clear up most of them.
I don't think we got much choice. Listen,
Honestly, we don't. Because, the state basically is going to say, you got to do it before too long. And plus there's inherent liability as far as if somebody is going for a job, and because they have a case that should have been closed out and hasn't been, it could be an issue. So I would, it'd be an additional $750, which is not a lot.
I make a motion to let her go. I'm going to clear it up.
Second the motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Sooner the better.
Huh?
Sooner the better.
Yeah.
And the finance committee met prior to the meeting and reviewed financial reports for the supervisor and the court for the clerk collector's financial reports for February 2015. John?
I have an estimate from Leonard for putting electric in Lukey's building
Oh,
of 2183. Be nice to have a string of lights in there and a couple outlets for some battery chargers or whatever.
John, while we're looking at that, you've got a budget to work with on this building. What is your plan on doing this around down there? We had something on the main building electric.
Right.
We had something there. We talked some of doing more exciting. I mean, we can't do it all. What is your...
He's hard to pin down on the big building because you don't know what you're getting into.
Did he give you a price on anything yet, or on the bid building?
Yeah, he said somewhere around 10 to 12.
Unfortunately, auditors aren't going to let us do that. Maybe we could take it in sections,
Yeah.
so you can break it down and say how much to do this far, and so he can give us a quota or something, if it's, say, spend $4,000 or $5,000 this year, and then, or 3,000 or whatever, John, so you get started on it.
So I'll tell him to take his estimate and divide it into a couple of reasonable, logical
So
stopping
we know
points.
what we're spending. I mean, we realize that parts could go up a little bit, but.
Right.
Yeah, we can't leave an open end. But anyway, what was your plans, what was your hopes and wishes of?
Well, I'd like to do another side or two, one of the buildings maybe in steel. it's a good time to do it now, actually. We can't do road work yet. We can't take our plowing equipment apart yet. So it'd be nice days like we've had the last couple of days, we could run out and put another side on. One of the buildings, we have 2 buildings down there. There's one side done on each of them. You know, the couple of short sides are fairly cheap.
Pete, how much money we got that we could comfortably
I'd have to look at the budget.
dedicate to?
Well, there's, we put aside, I don't recall exactly, to do,
Yeah, well, I understand, I mean, we can't do it all.
No.
We got 10,000 we could work with, or do we have,
yes, I believe that.
give us some ideas anyway? It's not like I'm putting aside now, we got labor, because we do it in kind.
Without looking at my notes, I think we kind of looked at about 20 grand. But don't take that as gospel without me.
Well, would it be all right to ask John for next meeting to
Yeah.
get some
Get
ideas
together.
on some prices, and we can look into electricity, whatever he wants to do on that.
That's probably the most important thing is the electric. Same with Lucky's bill, you know, that's a,
Well, I'm just saying,
That's an
you
issue
know,
not having
once
any
we
over there.
determine how much money you got to work with, then you can put it where it does you most good.
Mhm.
But, you know, we gotta get out, continue getting the outside, because if it will, that difference, I'd have more confidence on
I'm also,
you taking care of those buildings.
we're also not opposed to throwing a coat of paint on the things too, just to get us by, and, you know. The steel's expensive, of course, and you're done with it, but we can get some white paint, spray them down to, it'd be nice to, by fair, we get it looking better down there, a lot of traffic down there. We have an extra plow that was the spare, not much left of it. And we got a new plow with a new truck, which gives us 6 plows now. That one's straight to hangers, so that's good for it.
So we need a motion to get rid of excess equipment.
You need to declare it as
Surplus.
surplus and make a motion structured that it will be sold for scrap metal.
Just, we
Yeah, I make a motion to do that, it's not no good just sitting around.
just taking up room against or something else inside.
Yeah, but we still have the plow and wing for the international that we have the tank on now.
Yeah.
So we have basically 6 plows. Actually, when the 10-wheeler was broken and we were using our backup truck, that was one of our dependable ones that was broken. So we got that tanker in, and all we need to do is throw some water in that. We can plow and have a plow and wing on that. So that will take the place of just the extra plow that we had hanging around. We're just hanging on, we're sending the worst one down the road and stay with 6.
Can you do a second on that?
Okay, Dave, you made the motion to
Scrap it.
declare it salvage
Salvage,
and to dispose of it
scrap,
as scrap metal.
scrap metal.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carried.
That's just for the service, no lights, just one GFI, is that what that said?
Just an outlet.
Right, just a 20-amp GFI outlet underneath the panels on fire, but no string of lights or nothing? I didn't see no lights on there.
Just a
One outlet, I see, right?
single phase.
120 amp,
It's basically the entrance.
just about the entrance.
I guess you would have one more plug in there
So
then.
I thought,
Well,
He did say you could do it cheaper if you just ran from the existing barn underground over and didn't have its own, just had a sub panel there. So that's an option too to think about.
Yeah. Once you get that all together for us, then put your package together for next board meeting, then we'll hear what
Are you
you're
going, are you gonna need that much power over it?
No, no,
I mean, that's 200 amp, 42 circuit.
no, we, probably one light circuit and half a dozen outlets, so we get battery chargers in there, it's about it.
Certain chocolate, that's plenty of power.
Yeah.
Well, as far as running a welder or something.
Oh, that's just,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the type of thing that
with something.
they may not use it now, but,
Yeah, right.
you know, it would be nice to be able to work on equipment out there as well. You know, it's-
But it could probably be a little cheaper from the building.
Yeah.
They put it in your service.
Yeah.
Want to put a 50 amp breaker on the bottom of something? For a welder, just so you can have all of it.
Well,
Where's
we
the
got
breaker?
Brian Ryder's phone number, we don't need to run a welder over there ourselves. He works cheap enough, we don't need to pull it at this point. So I talked to Leonard again. He ought to come here. Talk to you guys,
We got two pretty knowledgeable people that can look at it.
get myself right out of the middle. How about the bucket controls for the tractor? We have to keep that on for ballast with that 3-point hitch mower. Yeah, and we got the 2 levers that have quick disconnects. We have to unhitch the loader to operate the broom or the either mower or anything else. We have to keep the loader on it for ballast, but we can't use it. When we had it up there getting it fitted with that boom mower, Clinton Tractor told us it'd be about $1,200. They could put a joystick right in it, plumb it up. We don't need to take that front loader off. And in some cases, we're required to leave it on, but then we could still use the thing when we had a implement on the back.
It'll be a little handy if you're sleeping, you don't want to creep up some of the stuff and pick it up, and very handy to have a bucket.
Well, you can extricate yourself with a bucket, and it's, the backhoe bucket's so much bigger, it's awkward to fill the spreader with salt. It's nice to use a smaller bucket that's actually the right size for the thing. What you guys think of that?
I don't have a problem.
It's, with Dodge Insurance Springs, where we get the bucket from, you might be able to go cheaper through him. And, Clinton Tractor, just because of the fact that it's came from there, and, you know, they sell it versus, having to have something up with Clinton Tractors.
Okay. I'll check with them.
But it's a lot handier to have it on.
Oh, it's useless, man.
So check with that and get back to you.
Well, it's authorized up to $1,250, you know where he does the best,
You get
when we get the best deal, do it. I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second. If you can get it cheaper up there.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carried.
The roller, has a motor problem.
Yeah. Needs to be addressed, using oil on it for a long time.
Can we send that in? Get it worked on before we blow the thing up?
Yeah, it's not warm. That's a valuable roller.
I don't have an estimate on it.
What is Dukes?
Hmm?
St. Joyce? The motor.
Ingersoll Rand.
Where you send it, Jamie?
Jamie?
I would. Best mechanic around here.
Well, yeah, you take it over there, kind of, at least get an estimate on it, and call the board, or something. I mean, it can't be $200 down $5,000.
Edmiston has almost the exact same thing. They blew theirs up and that was 7 for the new motor.
For new motor,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
just doing it.
Got to be considerable less than that.
Yeah, I guess if you got a little oversized on it or anything on it, see what it is.
Yeah, but you get that engine done, everything else probably for 4.5.
I believe he's been reasonable.
Yeah, I don't have
He
a
is
problem,
good at it.
I just hate to, that be a complete pig in the poke.
Get an estimate?
Yeah, call us, can we call them, what can we do, can we call?
Well, you probably have to trailer it over there and have a look at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as an estimate goes, can you call it?
As far as getting it done,
Yeah.
well, give an estimate and let me know.
Huh?
Who's the mechanic?
Old South Side.
Jeff.
Southside. Jamie or?
Jamie, he worked for Red House for
Okay,
years,
just,
went on his own up there at Frasersville.
Yep.
So we're trailer that to Jamie, have him take a look as soon as he can, and then I'll get with you. And pickup trucks, do you want to establish a rotation on pickup trucks?
You can't wear 'em out.
We have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old right now.
For years and years and years, we went every 5 years. And then we thought we were gonna be smart and tried to jump it up to 2 years. And that didn't necessarily work out so well for us.
Not because the interest rates went down and nobody went to hold trucks.
But, you know, we can't let them go where they're just completely gone. You're not gonna get anything out of them. Like, get rid of the old one?
Yeah. It's probably 85,000 miles or something. It's an 04, I think.
We're gonna be plowing them all the time, everything else, you can't.
They're right out in the worst conditions there is.
You can't go without, just have some sort of program done.
So we were figuring next year.
I know we talked
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
We would head over there.
Next, so go 6 years, trying to figure out stretching in 6.
As long as there's nothing drastically, if it blows the motor
Well,
or transmission, then it's not worth it. Then, we need to do something else. But there's money in the capital projects, in the machinery fund. To draw. because-
what kind of, you got any research on what one costs now?
Yeah, the village paid 26, I think, for an F-350 as a state bid. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
And, they're halfway across state, but you can get municipal pricing with anybody. So, I was thinking the best thing to do would be probably to go competitive bid. I think we made out good with the MAC, sending a bid out and taking quotes and going with the best price. It'd be nice to have a diesel instead of a gas. That's about $6,000 difference.
Replace inside and store it?
Yeah,
Sit
sit right there in its own bay. That's what we have to now because we can't start the spreader if it sits outside.
I guess my only question is the purpose of going diesel, just the longevity of it, we're still gonna swap for every 5 or 6 years.
Well, if we're gonna
Is it worth the difference?
get a new one every 5 years, we're gonna have it for 10 years.
We've got 2 now, not 1.
Yeah.
You can run them around a whole lot cheaper than a 10-wheeler. But guy on
Oh, I'm not
10-wheeler
disputing,
with a
we're not
chainsaw.
disputing
Yeah.
that. I just trying to judge in my mind if it's worth the extra $6,000.
Well, $6,000, you're gonna have it 10 years, $600 a year, $50 a month. You can run a diesel $50 a month cheaper than a gas motor. Right?
No.
You're gonna save Sure you are.
On what?
John, what did Bill tell us he was getting for gas mileage in the village pickup truck?
Bill gets 8 with his
Same as
gas.
Wayne's getting with his Mac.
Yeah,
It's hard to
Well, what do
believe.
you get with yours?
I don't know.
I've never had enough of life experience with that cheaper, and fuel sure as hell's a hell of a lot more, but,
As far as on the state bid, I don't think they did diesel. do they?
Well, they bid trucks, and any changes you make to the state bid, they can adjust. You know, if you want an option that's not on the state bid,
so you,
the price difference, they just add on to the state bid price.
Yeah, talking about a lot of miles anyways, you got a 9-year-old that's got
85, we got a 5-year-old who's 80 or something like that. That sat around
You
for,
put more on, maybe when it's newer too.
well, the old one sat in the barn for 2 or 3 years without getting used at all. The new one got run around and, but you see the spreader that's on the back of the new one, you gotta keep the thing running. It won't start when it's cold out. It's got a gas motor on it. So you've gotta leave it in the barn overnight, and then you start it up before you back it out. Then if you go do your plowing and salting, it takes 2-3 tanks of gas in the spreader. But, so when I just plow with a truck without the spreader in it, and then go grab the one with the spreader and do it with 1 tank of gas.
Yeah, I'm not a big,
For what you get for $6,000, I don't.
I'm not one to say that they don't run very decent.
big trucks, it was a big truck, it wouldn't even have a
Pulling
question.
something maybe, you know, like, oh.
Well, like you say, do they get diesel?
No, state bid doesn't have diesels. If you want a diesel, you take the state bid truck, and then the price difference between the gas and the diesel is, yeah, any option really.
I just think you're so far behind on other stuff. You need loaders, you need this and there, something else you're saying you need it, you're gonna need, and $6,000 will go a long ways towards starting to buy something else, whether it comes up to $50 a month or it comes up to $600 a year, whatever it comes. I need to go out and spend something on something we don't, that would be beneficial. If I could see a big soft cost savings in fuel, I'd say, yeah, but I don't see that. Gasoline is considerably cheaper than diesel fuel. And it would be interesting to know what mileage they are when they're plowing, so it would different ballgame when you're running a diesel down the road or you're plowing with it. It's gonna take more fuel all the time than it does when you're plowing.
Well, I know this, it's hard to get those little gas motors up the hills with a load of salt on the back. It's all hanging off the front.
I'd be done for 10 years old, well,
Well, that's how I know. That's how I know it could be better.
I don't know, maybe let table ducking around. I was inclined to say go ahead and look at them on the 5 years. On there for 6,000, maybe a better way than either.
Maybe we'll table it now.
Yeah, I would, I was inclined to say, we'll go ahead and let's get one, but I'm just.
Would you get that much more for it when you get rid of it?
Yeah.
Not that we get 6,000 more, no.
I know that, but you wouldn't get that much.
I don't know.
Percentage more.
I don't know. It would be, you wouldn't get something more. It would be a more desirable truck at the end of the run, for sure.
We'll table it now. A little research. Anything else? No. Anybody have any other business?
I got one thing, and I know it's gonna bother you, but I'm utterly confused. And I want to ask these people some questions. I don't want to do it in a hostile way, but most of you can remember 6 or 8 months ago, whenever it was, we had the town attorney here. Nobody can forget that night. And all that night, the main conversation was the town road program and going with the county. We said that we would adopt and go with the county, whatever the county and the other towns did, we would go with them. That ongoing conversation was probably going on 1.5 years, 2 years before that. We had agreed to do that. 4 months ago, one of your own parties sitting right here in this room criticized us for not having the road program in place. But now it's in place, we're getting criticized, and that is not right when you people were the ones pushing it. And that's all I've got to say.
Any other business? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, nay? Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, it's about 32 for diesel, about 27 now. But I was just thinking, we have things down there, and we know we're gonna get all the mileage. They're not gonna be,
You all went to gas service. Oh, you told one of the times, they used to have these like, well, gonna be like this or that. Just have to look up. Take care, guys.
well, it's up to you guys, but I'm just telling you what I found out. Yeah, it's a joystick with the hydraulic controls on the front end loader.
Have a nice birthday.
What you get, try to call.
Do they go for 6 months? So Jim, that's the name of the company, you said? Where do they go?
They found it.
They
found it on Simpson.
Oh, all right. He's just suggesting go back to them?
Give them a call, see what they think.
And then it's on the loader?
No,
Or the tractor?
it's on the track, it's on our case track. So,
Get a price on what it
it's just a stick to operate the front end loader. So we can operate both things that are on it. Instead of, right now, you have to unhitch one and put the other, you can't use both at the same time. When you use the rear end, you gotta use the front end, you gotta get out and hit your rear end, hit the front end, do the front end, get up and hitch. If it had its own controller, we would have to do that to be able to use it.
Okay.
Well, it's a controller, so you can only use one thing at a time.
In those early scrapbook, anything that was in the paper.
Just the controller.
Maybe I'll see you this weekend.
We got a hole in West Hill.
You got a hold of that?
It's down to one lane, just past
I always watch.
where you go to the white farm.
Put it this way, nobody's gonna argue. I think that,
We got a tube block.
But then I
We got
went
a
into
barricaded sign, we tried to get up.
business. So then I went into Van Clear.
So I came
I
here
didn't have
for
the
work,
time.
but we're gonna have to, if we can't get it uncorked tomorrow,
I
we're gonna
believe
have to
this
pull
was
it.
submitted to.
There's a damn tube right in the middle of March.
Wait, now, all right.
Tube like this, who knows what's in it? So we're gonna cut a tree down, cram that up in there.
I'm coming, yeah, I'm coming.
Tube's already part
So my question was after
I stayed until she got her shower. Well, once she gets in the bed,
because
she'll say, thank you.
All right,
my
so.
question is between January and.
But she,
Not a believer in it.
Kind of dates to go on.
I think it's like.
What I'm saying is,
In January, and distributed the copies of the
Right.
ordinance.
Makes no difference to me, but.
Attorney would have.
The horsepower does.
Review. Provided to the board with something, and it was gonna be
Who's
given
that
to the
stranger?
attorney.
Yes, sir.
I know you.
You gotta stand on the floor.
Yeah.
I
I heard it here the other day.
That was what I wanted.
Country club here on for a while.
Yes, it's in board.
Right, okay. So then in January,
She can
at a
stick
town
to
board
the damn
meeting, it
floor.
was given to all of the board members.
They're
to
underpowered,
review.
what we have is underpowered.
Well, what do you got in there?
5.8.
6 liter?
You had already
I
reviewed
did,
it.
did I?
That's why I didn't.
Okay,
I waited 2 weeks.
Gotta have it.
okay.
But
So,
there were separate bills that were already.
Get around 2 yards of salt.
If you're concerned about it, there was a meeting unknown to the public. Is that what you're aware of, right?
right, 'cause it's, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right, there were, right. So,
How you want to play that?
so do you want something official on station, all right.
I'd rather keep
I'll
the
take this.
10-year-old lump at 350. So that are. Oh, well.
And